If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. Hi everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. I wanted to share with you some projects that I have been working on. I took some time off from redoing my craft room because I'm waiting on a piece of furniture and some of my clear drawers. So I kind of had to stop because I didn't want to move something temporarily and then have to redo it again. So I'm just gonna wait, be patient, and wait for my furniture and the drawers to come in. But while I was waiting on that, I decided to go ahead and play with some resin, and I did get a new mold. So I want to share that one with you. I thought it would go great with the new Prima paper, the With Love collection. So it came in and I decided to play with it. So I'm going to share with you what I have been doing. Also, I felt like, I thought, I wonder if the gold leaf or the copper leaf would stay on it. And I ended up getting a glue that is for either gold leafing or copper leafing, any kind of leaf that you want to use. And it is an adhesive. So I used that on the resin pieces and it did work. So I want to share with you what they look like. I have this one sitting here because I'm going to share with you what it looks like. It's this metal leaf glue adhesive, and you brush it on, but you have to stir it before you use it. The first time I used it, I had a little trouble with it until I read the directions, and it says to stir. So I didn't really take anything and stir it. I just kind of swirled it around, and I did use a brush to brush it on. But what you do is you brush it on and then you leave the piece aside. And as you can see, it looks a little milky still. You can see the white there. But I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. But you're supposed to let it sit. And it's ready to be, it's ready for you to do the leafing on it whenever it turns clear. So, but I'm going to try it on that. I think we'll be okay. But I'm going to move that aside first and I want to share with you. And this is the copper leaf that I use is by Heidi Swap, but any leafing will do. And I'll link some in the description box. And I will also link this. And there's actually one, and I didn't pay attention when I bought mine. It is the adhesive, and then it's a sealer. So I'm going to see if I can link that one because I think that's the better deal. So anyway, I'm going to move this aside for a minute, and I'm going to share with you what my pieces look like. And I love, love, love the way they came out. So this is a mold that I already had that my friend Carolyn had gifted me. And as you can see, it looks kind of like a rose gold color, but it really isn't rose gold. I just used the brown color for the brown pigment color for resin. And I only used a very little bit, so it was almost a translucent brown. That's what it looked like. So when it dried, it almost looks like a rose gold or a vintage pink. And I love the way it came out. And I felt that copper leafing would look really good with this. Gold would too, but because of it being kind of pinkish, I thought that the rose gold would be better. And look at how beautiful it looks. Actually, I guess I could put it down. It might look better. Anyway, I ended up doing these two, and I love, love, love the way they look. So I wanted to tint some green, and I did, and I kind of overdid it with the green. I wanted to make them like a mint green, and I'm going to share with you what the colors look like before I forget, because sometimes I tend to forget. But it's this Cast and Craft opaque pigment. So this one's in the brown, and then this one is the green. And when I want to do like a mint green, I'll use very little because it's very you only need a little bit or else it'll get too dark. And that's what I did with these right here. And I'm going to take this one out of the package because of the glare, and so you can have a better look at it. But I ended up really liking the way it looks. So here is the green ones that I did. And like I said, I ended up adding too much green, and it's not really a leaf green, but it reminds me kind of that vintage frames that are painted green, and and then they kind of add some other color to it, and the paint is starting to peel, like it has like a patina to iron or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. So I added the copper leafing because I felt that the copper would look really good with the green, and I believe that it does. But this is the new mold that I just bought, and I love the way the copper looks on here. And I didn't put it like on the whole thing. I just wanted it here and there, just little hints of it here and there. I didn't want it to be completely covered, and I kind of feel like I overdid it on this heart, but it still looks good. So there is the green one, and then I did a set in the gold, or the rose gold color. And like I said, it's really not rose gold, it just ended up looking rose gold. And here is the other one, and look at how beautiful they look. And again, I just did little hints, and this is actually a banner that has a heart and some kind of leaf or flower sprays, and the frame is the same, and then that little embellishment. So I was making these embellishments, and I did make extra, so if anybody's interested, I'll put my email in the description box. They're $4 a set, and I don't have very many. I have maybe 6 in the pink, and I think 2 or 3 in the green, and I think a couple of white. That's all I have. That's all I made. I kind of wanted to use, I'm not taking this one out of the packages. You can see it's white. I was trying to use up the resin that I had, because I kind of, if you let it sit, it turns yellow. With this, it really doesn't matter, and I'll share with you the resin I use if you want to make your own. And it dries in 10 minutes, so it's pretty fast. It cures in 10 minutes. So here is the amazing casting resin that I use, and it cures right here, turns white and cures in 10 minutes. So that's the one I use, and I usually get it at Hobby Lobby, or I get it on Amazon. It's pretty pricey, and you can't use a coupon on this. So I'll link it in the description box from Amazon, or you can pick it up at Hobby Lobby. And this is the way it turned out. And while I was playing, I was mixing just a little bit too much of the resin to go, I had left over after I had done filled the mold for the frame, and this is all on one mold. So I ended up just choosing another mold, and these are those bows that I bought a while back. And on these, I decided to just do the center with the copper foiling, and I love the way they look. I think they're really, really pretty. So I love the way those look. And then I did one, and I wanted to do it in a very pale pink, and I kind of added too much red. And it's a darker pink than what I like. The first one was worse. The first one really looks red. And but you can always paint these. You don't waste, because even if I don't like the color it had come out, you can just go ahead and paint it, and you'll be fine. Just add some gesso to it, let it dry, and then you can paint it. But this is the pink one. I'll show you the back. There's the back to it. But this is the pink one that I made. And I'm going to use it. And I tried the copper leaf on there, but I think maybe the gold would look better, because the copper being and the pink being so similar. It doesn't, I mean, it stands out, but I think that the gold would look better. Anyway, these are the ones that I created, and you also need one of these brushes right here that is made for that. And I'm going to show you real quick how I did that, in case you want to do your own. If you already play with resin, or you have some molds that you already like. Let me move these out of the way. If you have molds that you already like, well, and you already probably have some of these products in your stash. I did. The only thing I ended up buying that I didn't have was the adhesive for the metal leaf. So this is starting to clear up. If you notice, it is starting to clear up some. And there's the other one. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of the copper leaf. And I broke this, guys. As you can tell, it's supposed to look like this. But I took it out of the mold before it was fully cured. And it's still a little soft, a little pliable when you do that. And when I set it down on my countertop, there was another piece of resin underneath, so it didn't dry flat like my other ones. And I was trying to straighten it up. You know, I couldn't leave it alone because it wasn't bad, but I just couldn't leave it alone, and I snapped it. But I can still use it. I'm not going to waste it, because by the time I glue it back together, you're not even going to be able to tell. So I'm just going to do a little piece. I'll do the bigger piece right here. And I have a little bit of the copper leaf between my fingers. And all I do is just kind of press it in, and you can feel the adhesive on your fingers. Like it's going to stick to you, the glue. And or if you have the sheets, of course, you would just lay the sheet down and rub it. But I have the flakes, so that's what I'm using what I have. A little bristle in here. So I'm using what I already have. It's sticking to my fingers. And it seems to me like this is kind of clumping up. And when it's clumped up, I'll show you. It's really, really thick, but it's a bunch of layers together. And it really clumps up really, really bad like that. And that's because there's several layers, and you have to kind of, you know, pull it apart. So I'm just going to use this. Sometimes you can get nice little sections out of it. And that's what you want instead of the little flakes. And let's see, this one still feels kind of thick, like there's more layers, or if it like it's folded or something. And I'm just going to try and thin it out some, because it doesn't stick too well when it's that way. I'm sorry that my hand is in the way, but I want to add it to where the glue is. Feel like, and you can feel where the glue is on your project because it's sticky, it's tacky. And then you use this little stippling brush to get the excess off. And a lot of you already know how to use this. This is for those of you who have never played with it before or are not real familiar with it. And that's what it's for. And I love that it looks like it was maybe painted copper and it peeled, or it was painted green and it peeled. I like that. So I think I have plenty. I'm going to add some on the wing right here, because I can see it's kind of shiny, so you can see the glue when it's on there. Okay. So all I'm going to do is just, you know, firmly rub with the brush, and it starts taking off the excess and leaves, you know, what is really stuck down. And this you can actually reuse. I pretty much have been dumping it because it's just little, you know, by the time I've done so many pieces, there, you know, it's mostly like powder. So I just dump it out. I love the way the copper looks on this color green. It was a nice mistake. I really like, you know, sometimes you make a mistake and you're like, why did I do that? And this is one of those ones when you say, it was a mistake, but I love the way it looks. So I'm trying to add more here because I can still feel that it's sticky. And you don't want to work under a fan. And my fan's going right now, but it's on very, very low. You can't hardly really tell, because if you have it on high, the flakes are going to fly everywhere. You're going to have them everywhere. And look at how nice that looks. Just here and there. I didn't want to cover the whole thing. I mean, you could if you wanted to. I didn't want to. I want some of the green and some of the copper to be showing. So let's go ahead and do this little piece, because like I said, I'm not going to waste anything. I will definitely use that. Throw that big piece in there. I will use it. So for me, I'm not going to waste sticking to my fingers. So if you have the sheets are actually kind of nice because then you don't have to be, you know, trying to separate little clumps like I'm having to do here. The sheets are really nice. Put that in there. And you can see where your glue is, like I said, because it is shiny. So you'll be able to tell where there is adhesive. Okay. But not all of it stays on, because you can see this is pretty covered up, but some of it is going to come off when I start using the little brush, see? And it just leaves you some. And I love the way it looks. That's pretty good right there. Look at how pretty this looks. So I'm going to put it together. Let's see, let me move this out of the way. I used this paper to add the glue to my project. And you can, sometimes stuff sticks to the paper. But here it is, and if I was to use it on a project, I would just, you know, glue it down. And by the time my project was done, you wouldn't even be able to tell it was broken. But there it is. So I hope that you guys like what I did, and I hope this inspires you and gives you ideas that you can add to your own projects. Like I said, I do have extra ones that I'm willing to part with because I have the mold and I can make more for myself. But I know a lot of times you don't want to invest in, or me personally, sometimes I don't want to invest $30, $40 to try something, but I want that embellishment or I want that resin piece. So I'm making this available for those of you who don't want to invest in the glue, in the leafing, in the resin, in the colors, in the molds, because it can get pretty pricey. So they're going to be $4 plus shipping. I'm going to leave my email in the description box. If you're interested, you can pay via PayPal, friends and family. And I only have a few. Like I said, I have 6 or 7 of the rose gold, 2 of the green, and 2 of the white. And whatever's left will go into my clear drawers, and that will be my personal stash or Happy Meal. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone is having a great day, and God bless. Bye.